Wow, these leaks are getting out of control. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk about some surprising news. I think this news is always surprising because you don't expect it to happen. But I guess nowadays, I guess it is expected. I want to talk about these Wolverine leaks, Insomniac's next installment. Seems like anyway. Next big budget release, Marvel's The Wolverine. Wanted to give my thoughts on it. Just I will say this, just a disclaimer. I'm not going to put any of the footage that is out and about in this video. I'll probably put a link in the description that has the entire. I think it's like a 3-minute long video. While it's still up, you can go check it out, and you can see a little bit of what I'm going to talk about here. As well as we're going to go through an article. I kind of just want to see what all. There's been more stuff than Wolverine that's been leaked. It's been quite a few other upcoming releases from Insomniac and other things of that nature. So I just want to kind of go through all that first, and then we'll kind of talk about the gameplay. I might put some stills here and there, but I can't do a whole lot. So I don't want the video being taken down. I'm trying to do a little bit better with my videos with copyright and things that probably shouldn't be in the video, and I don't really want to keep pushing these leaks around. However, I will put the link down in the description so you can check it out if you want to see what I'm talking about. So anyway, with that being said, let's get right on into it. All right, so we're on this article from Eurogamer. I just found the first or second one that I saw. I read one earlier. I didn't remember who it was from, but this essentially just goes through some of the details of this current leak. So, Eurogamer devastating leak lays bare Spider-Man developer Insomniac's plans for the next decade. Includes employee information, details on a slew of unannounced Marvel games. So, this isn't just Wolverine. It's also Spider-Man 3. It's also, I believe, a Ratchet and Clank title, but we'll see down below here as we get into the article. So, the article by Tom Phillips. Again, I'll probably put this in the description as well. Detailed plans revealing the future projects of PlayStation-owned Spider-Man developer Insomniac have been published online, stolen from the company by hackers. The files include a project roadmap for the next decade and beyond, including an array of unannounced projects, plus production details, art assets, and personal information on Insomniac employees. Insomniac suffered a data breach last week with ransomware group Residia demanding 50 bitcoins, the equivalent of $2 million, within a week to avoid the data being published publicly. Now, 7 days later, the group has gone through with its threat. At first reported by Cyber Daily, the leaked trove of data includes 1.3 million files and over 1.6 terabytes of data. This includes private messages from the company's Slack and employee details, including files related to the company's hiring and firing. A Reseda spokesperson told Cyber Daily the hack specifically targeted Insomniac to demand money, as a high-profile game developer would likely be an easy target. Sony has yet to respond to the leak, though last week acknowledged reports that Insomniac Games have been victim of a cybersecurity attack. We are currently investigating the situation, Sony said at the time in a statement to Eurogamer. We have no reason to believe that any other SIE or Sony divisions have been impacted. Files from leak are now spreading across the internet and are being poured over on Reddit and social media. All right, here's the juicy details here. I'm going to highlight this here before we get into it. And we won't read like the whole article, but just crazy stuff, man. A product schedule for the company until 2035 lists upcoming game launches, including the unannounced multiplayer projects, a new Ratchet and Clank game, further Spider-Man games and spin-offs, one of which is Venom. I did see that. And plans for other X-Men games after Wolverine, and dates to launch a new IP. The level of detail in the leak is eye-opening and near unprecedented, with game budgets, sales forecasts, and revenue-sharing plans for the studio's lucrative Marvel licensing deal laid bare. Files show Insomniac sketching out the possibility of splitting Spider-Man 3's single-player story into 2 parts to release over consecutive years, with detailed costs and predicted sales. Ooh. They're trying to do like a Final Fantasy VII thing, like split up Spider-Man 3's story. I could get into it, man. I don't want the Spider-Man franchise to go away, so I could kind of get into that. Anyway, I guess we are going to read the whole article because it's not long. Looking somewhat closer ahead, character and story details of Insomniac's Wolverine are also included, with details of the game's plot and ending visible years before its release. Character art, test animations, and even an early sequence of gameplay are included. In another set of slides, an internal Sony document on the games industry discusses Microsoft's now completed acquisition of Activision Blizzard and describes it as a leapfrog moment where Xbox will overtake PlayStation's own strategy via a use of Game Pass, Call of Duty, and a foothold on mobile. Sony must expand, the document states, with premium sales model as the central approach. Eurogamer has contacted PlayStation for further comment today. So, um, this is unfortunate, man. This is very unfortunate. Again, if you clicked on this video, I'm sure you actually give a shit about this, what's going on in the gaming world. I try to stay away from it for a lot of times because just like politics and religion, it can get kind of toxic, and gamers are just toxic in general. I mean, like, we'll kind of get into a little bit of the Wolverine gameplay here in a second. And listen, it's in pre-alpha footage. It doesn't look great. But I see the potential. I see that this is very early footage. I'm sure they're far along ahead than what this is showing. And honestly, it doesn't look all that bad to me. There's some minor gripes here and there, but it doesn't look as bad as what people say it out to be. Everybody's acting like this is like the finished product, and it's like, okay, you don't know shit about game development. I don't know shit about game development, but I know that games got to start somewhere, and like for you to look at this gameplay and think this is the finished product is beyond me. But anyway, it's kind of crazy. All this stuff has been leaked as far as their future projects. A lot of stuff they want to keep tight-lipped on. I did see, and I know it doesn't say it here, so I might have spoiled that for you guys, but I did see somewhere that one of the games was Venom. So if you guys wanted a Venom spinoff, you're going to get it. I don't give a shit about that. I'm just being honest. I think I've said it before. I think Venom's gameplay is like my least favorite part of Spider-Man 2. I know that sounds controversial, but I just don't care. But yeah. So anyway, that's really all that is in this article. A lot of things got spoiled, and it really sucks, and it's really unfortunate. And if you're a piece of shit out there trying to hack these guys and release their content, shame on you, man. Shame on you. Everybody's looking forward to this shit. There's a specific character that shows up in this Wolverine gameplay. I will talk about that here in a minute. Spoiler warning. So if you want to know, I'll tell you. And also, too, I will put a link in the description of the gameplay as well, as long as it's still up, because I don't know, by the time I put this video out, it could be taken down. But anyway, let's get back to Wolverine. All right, so let's talk about these leaks for a second. So if you don't want to know anything about these leaks, it might be best to click off this video, and that's fine. I completely understand. I just really wanted to cover it here on the channel a little bit because I saw some things that did interest me in this. So if you don't want to know anything, spoiler warning now. Like I said, gameplay should be down in the description. And let's get into it. Yeah, this game looks like a Sony exclusive. It just does. The camera angle, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of has that, God of War 2018 Ragnarok kind of feel to it, the way the camera angle is, which I'm fine with. I don't ever get old of that. I love third-person games, so I don't have an issue with that. Combat looks stiff, but I think that's stuff that they'll work out, obviously in post a little bit more. But I mean, from what the gameplay I saw, it looks fast. It looks very fast. I just hope it's gory. I really hope that when you're fighting human characters, and even if you're fighting things that are not human, I really hope that you can start really, really slicing and dicing these guys. I've said it before, man. I want Wolverine to be a bloody experience. I don't want it to be, where it's kind of like, I love Ghost of Tsushima, but I wish you could cut people up a little bit more in that game, especially with as sharp as your samurai sword is. I get why they did it. I get, they were kind of trying to mimic the, old school, like, samurai films. But I would really like to see some real slicing and dicing here. This looks like a very, looks like a dark take on Wolverine. So I really hope it goes as dark as that. Yeah, dude, there's a good traversal in this game. I'm interested to see how they expand on that. There's a couple shots in this gameplay trailer where you see Wolverine and he's kind of like vaulting from like point to point almost, and it kind of reminds me of that same system of Spider-Man when he's doing his parkour, when you're kind of like running through a building and you're like jumping on top of desks and sliding under them and things like that. Kind of has the same vibe here that I really like, as well as a little bit of wall running. Looks like there's a little bit of wall running where you can kind of go up a wall a certain way and kind of back jump off of it to go to another building. It looks like he's got a little bit of that on there, which is cool. I want to see Wolverine very agile. As far as what he looks like, he's kind of short, has that more comic book look to him, but also he still also has that Hugh Jackman Wolverine kind of vibe about him too. I mean, you could just see from this image here in front of you with the flannel shirt and everything, very reminiscent of the Hugh Jackman version of the character. So I like all that stuff. and as far as the environments and set pieces go, it's very pre-alpha, so I don't really have much to say about that. Yeah, it's Insomniac. I'm sure it'll look stunning by the time we see some actual gameplay. But yeah, I'm satisfied with what I saw. It looks a little, it definitely looks undone. But again, I think it's supposed to look that way, especially with being pre-alpha. I just hope it's gory. I just hope you can decapitate fools, cut some arms off, legs. Let me cut a penis off, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What did he say?
Let me do some real slicing and dicing action, and I'll be satisfied. And then you got to have a story. It didn't really show much of that. They kind of showed another little scene where, kind of in the teaser trailer, this scene right here that you see in front of you, where Wolverine is sitting at the bar. They kind of show that a little bit. They don't let you hear the voices or anything because they get this like stupid ass music playing for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Maybe just to if they try to post it to other social media platforms, they want to try to. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. If they actually had voice work in these snippets of video, I don't see why Leaker wouldn't release that. Because I mean, I think we're all curious to see who's playing Wolverine. What does he sound like? One of the bigger reveals in this gameplay leak is looks like you'll be able to play as Jean Grey in some parts of the game, and I feel like that's supposed to be a pretty big reveal, and we've had it spoiled for us, and I'm disappointed in that because Jean Grey has really cool powers, and I'm interested to see how she works. However, I will say this: I hope that maybe her being in the game is just more of like a pilot test, and maybe eventually, because they said that they got more X-Men games planned besides Wolverine. So what I'm hoping is that maybe this is just a pilot test for her own game, because when I'm playing a Wolverine game, just like when I'm playing a Spider-Man game, I don't really want to play as another hero. I don't really want to do that. That kind of takes away from the character that I want to play as. So I want to play as Wolverine for the most part, but if there's a good tiny section with Jean Grey, I'm fine with it, man. I mean, who doesn't want to play as the Phoenix? I mean, I feel like that's a no-brainer. Besides people who don't like playing as females in video games, who's kind of whack and has a small wiener energy. But anyway, but yeah, it looks decent, man. It's hard to judge it. Yeah, it's pre-alpha. But from what I'm seeing, it definitely looks good. I like there's scenes where Logan's standing there with his claws out, and you can see blood on the claws. I think that's really cool. It'd be really awesome if they keep the blood on the claws, especially if you just murdered a bunch of people. But maybe you start seeing the claws kind of drip a little bit, drip some blood. I think that would be sick. I don't know if they're gonna go that far, but I think that would be really neat to do. I just hope this game is bloody, man. I want this game to be bloody. A lot of people compare, already started making comparisons to this and X-Men Origins Wolverine, the video game. And that game, even though the movie was maybe far from perfect, the game, they did a really good job of really showing Wolverine and showing how violent he is, the regeneration abilities that he has, with all the damage you can get, and you see over time your skin starts to grow back. These are systems that are dated that we need to see in this game. And I'm all for it, man. If nothing else, if you can find any positivity through these leaks, which I wish they didn't exist, but if any positivity is, it just gets me more excited for this. I did hear, and I didn't see this in the article or the articles that I've read prior to making this video, I did hear that this game has a 2026 release date, but I haven't seen that anywhere else. I saw it on Twitter. I don't know how accurate that is, so if you guys know anything, let me know down below. But yeah, if nothing else, this just gets me more excited for it. I like what I see. I know it's in pre-alpha. It doesn't look the best, but I see the potential. And people that are shitting on this game already, y'all are a bunch of dumbasses, man, and you don't know how games work and just think games are just supposed to look like The Last of Us Part 2 from the minute they announced the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, every game's got to start somewhere, and I'm willing to see what they turn out here, because this could be something special. It definitely looks like a Sony exclusive. It has, that same, third-person view that a lot of people complain about. Not me, but there's people that complain about it. But I think Insomniac's going to bring the heat with this one. It just sucks that this happened the way it did. Leaks are just trash, and anybody who does it are pieces of trash and just money hungry, and they just want to get every little penny and dime from a developer that puts quality into their games. I mean, if you're going to do this to anybody, do it to fucking 2K. Do it to Madden. These people take take thousands of dollars. I was gonna say millions, but that's not accurate. But they take millions from just regular people. They take thousands from you every year if you're into those types of games for Madden Ultimate Team and like my NBA and shit like that, my team or whatever. They take all that money from you, and it doesn't even matter after the next game comes out. But yeah, you're trying to take money from a developer that really cares about their games. Y'all are a bunch of pieces of shit, and y'all don't deserve to play these games. This game comes out, you shouldn't even buy it because why should you? Because you're bashing it already, and the game is still in development. I hope it's not 2026. But you know what? We'll wait and see. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below about the leaks. If you looked at them, let's talk about it down in the comments. I'm sorry I couldn't really put it here. I just don't. I'm trying to do a little bit better with that because I don't. If the channel is gonna grow, I don't want to just keep getting all my videos copyrighted, or I don't want the videos taken down. So I'm really trying to be a little bit more careful what I put in here. So let me know your thoughts down below. And with that being said, we'll see you next one. Stay dead, my friends.